So, a really interesting topic that is incredibly empowering to somebody who wants to really understand it is something that's called the learning index. And now, your personal learning index is basically the degree to which you are open to learning. So, I've seen people chart it from 1 to 10, and I've heard lots of people talk about the learning index in different ways. But essentially, if we are to chart your learning index from 1 to 10, with 10 being you're wide open to learning anything, you're just eyes of wonder and you need to learn, with 1 being like pretty closed off to learning. This is something that, if you really try to understand it within yourself, it can really help empower you and help you learn more that the world has available, that the world is teaching. And this wisdom, this knowledge, when you choose to learn it, when you're open to it, and you begin to incorporate into your actually being, into your being, and into the way you live your life, is literally something that translates into wisdom. So, learning index, very important point. How open or closed are you to learning?
Right. So you were just briefly explaining to me about a concept called the learning index,
Yes.
right? And just explaining to me how this refers to how closed or how open people are to information, and how this directly correlates with their ability to learn new things, correct?
Yes.
So in light of that piece of information that I've never heard of before, which is really cool, I love, how do you see this being like played out here with people in general, and how do you think this could help us in our journey?
Well, to take a personal inventory of your own learning index, your personal learning index, to analyze how open or closed you are to learning new things, is really imperative in today's world, because if this world that we live in, we are literally being bombarded with information everywhere. It's going on at all times. I mean, literally, right down from, most people just think of information in a very basic linear kind of way, like, I'm going to get information from a book, or I'm going to go to a school or a classroom and I'm going to learn something from somebody. But that's really only one tiny little dimension of the type of information that we have access to. So, what kind of information do we have access to that is really imperative for our journey of self-discovery and helping ourselves to become more aware and in tune with the laws of nature? Well, one is to realize that a lot of information is coming at us from everything there is. Everything is vibration. Everything is literally putting out sound. It's putting out frequency. And if you are open to this, even if you don't understand what it means to be open or how to assimilate this kind of information, but just the very choice and act of choosing to at least be open to it instead of closed-minded, which most people are, then slowly this information finds ways of integrating its way into your very conscious awareness of reality. Now, what kind of information are we talking about? Everything is creating frequency. So you can just be walking down the road. Better example. Say you're walking in the woods, one of my favorite activities, something I love to do. When I'm walking through the woods and I'm around nature, the trees, literally everything is emitting a vibratory field. And as long as I'm open and aware of that and not stuck in my head and dealing with my personal problems, but if I'm open to that, then it is nothing short of, well, at its most basic level, it's like really awe-inspiring, to the more profound levels of, oh my God, I can't even believe the communication that is taking place in the natural world with my very human consciousness that I was previously oblivious to because I was closed-minded.
So when you walk out in nature and in the fields, that's how you experience it, instead of just like going for a walk and looking at the cars and looking at, you're actually interacting with the energy fields around each tree, each squirrel, or whatever it is around you?
Yes, but here's the difference is when looking at this from a personal learning index and your openness or closed to it, for me, where I think a lot of people will go out in the woods, they're gonna go out and their learning index, their ability to be open-minded, open-hearted, and just open to the potential that exists isn't really there because they didn't know that they had the capability to be, the master of their ship, the captain of the ship, and really kind of decide how open they're going to be. So what will they do? They'll go outside, usually they're right in their head thinking about their own thoughts, their issues, their problems, whatever, and even if they're not doing that, then a lot of people will still walk out into the woods, and they'll look at a tree or they'll look at a rock, but they're going to have an idea about it. Maybe a judgment or a belief, or, oh, that's what that is. Oh, that's a tree. Oh, that's what this. That actually isn't what that is. That's just your conditioned belief to what you think or believe that is. It's literally become a program that is so repetitiously been imprinted into your psyche and perception of reality that you just automatically assume it's real or that's what it is. But what that is an indicator of is that your personal learning index is at a very low level, meaning that you just aren't open to anything beyond the potential of what that can represent. So, somebody like me, what I do is I've already worked through those levels. Believe me, and I'm not anywhere near perfect, but I'm so committed. I'm so devoted to this. I've put it to the test so many times and I continuously get results. That's why I know this stuff works. That's why I, really help others, to inspire others to realize it, because it is about empowering yourself. So what do? I go outside instead of, thinking that's a tree or this is a rock or that's that. I'm just in a state of openness. And in that state of openness, there's these energies, these frequencies, these vibratory oscillations that are being emanated by every single thing are there. They're available. Yes, it is seemingly subtle at first, but make no mistake, they are there. They are alive and they are well. So the more alive and well, or I shouldn't say alive and well, but the more open you decide to be, that you choose to be, and work at consistently becoming, the more these subtleties begin to reveal themselves in ways that it's almost like a lock and a key, right? You have this ability to perceive reality in a certain way. And when this information is coming at you, you're either going to block it off or you're going to be open to it. So it's like all these keys are coming at you, all these keys of knowledge and wisdom and information. And your lock is going to open up to receive this information, or it's going to push it away. Most people, because their learning index, as we're referring to it here, is so shut down, mostly unconsciously, because they didn't know they have the ability to really open themselves up to the degree where they're in this state of constant receiving of information and processing information that then will further translate into your ability to be able to emit this information. That's a whole other direction that we can go with this. But because people don't know that, they're not empowered by it. And instead, maybe they're confused by it. Maybe the more closed you are to your ability to learn, the more closed you become. Because you're just reinforcing like a loop, a feedback loop of the way you process information in this world, where you're kind of like just putting more nails into the coffin or putting more bars around the prison cage. You keep engaging in certain thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, and actions repetitiously over and over again. It becomes second nature. It doesn't even become anything that you question anymore. So by being open, by questioning, not in a deterministic, I need to know type of way, but questioning in a very open-minded, innocent way, like a child. What is going on? What is the awe and wonder available in the world to me? And what can it do to help me as this being that I am to grow and be more empowered? That kind of approach to perceiving life and to learning about life is, more along the lines of what I'm referring to.
Right, and even along the lines of what you're referring to, in regards to being open to information and just being in that state, I know that's something that really helps me and pretty much everybody else, is to do it through the heart. And when you're in that state of love, whether it's love for yourself, love for life, love for nature, love for being alive, the miracle of life, like whatever it is, when you're in that state of gratitude and love inside your heart, you don't even need to try. You just, boom, you're automatically open. And that's when the information starts to come in. So,
Well said. And just to expound upon that a little bit, living in your heart is a quantum leap for most people at this point in time, only because we have been so repetitively conditioned to perceive things in a very patriarchal, left brain, supposedly analytical way of perceiving reality that kind of locks you into this mental construct that is very, very imbalanced. It's extremely important, believe me. It's not in any way to only think or feel through the heart and make the brain devoid. It's not it at all. It's just realizing where the imbalance of energies have become focused, and then choosing to realize, okay, most people are in their own head. They're so in their own head that they feel numb in their own bodies. Why is there so much disease? Why is there so much sickness? This is a whole other topic. But a lot of it has to do, at its core levels, that we're not really aware beyond the very human personality or ego that we believe ourselves to be, to the degree that we're not even physically present of feeling this body that we exist in. And so a lot of people don't really understand what it means to be, or what the potential of being human is. Even in this form that we are, we're experiencing such a small degree of the potential and our abilities and the capabilities that naturally reside within us. So getting out of our head and into our heart is a huge first step. And it really opens your ability to increase this learning index, what we're talking about. But even more than that, by living in the heart and loving the world, it helps the mental faculty. It's not about getting rid of the ego. It's about helping the ego to have a more holistic perspective of reality. And that's what being open to life does, if you approach it the right way.
yes. And I have to go to the kitchen because my garlic is burning.
You gotta get it.
Let me just show the fire a little bit. So cozy. Sessions by the fire.
Hey guys, as always, if you enjoy these videos, please like or love them on Facebook and or YouTube and share it. This is a grassroots marketing effort. It's a way to get empowering information out to people without profit, just literally sharing information, sharing love, and using the tools that we have available to us. So again, if you enjoy this content, please like it, love it, and share it. Pass it on. Thank you.